right, so let's get started. Prospecting. Now let's start with prospecting. Never, ever, this is the most undervalued aspect of a sales cycle. Most undervalued, prospecting. Because we think a lead comes, let's start talking, right? Most undervalued is prospecting. Do not ignore your ICP. What's your ICP? Ideal customer persona. Profile. What's my ICP? And there are 5 basic understandings of ICP. One is whether it's a geographical fit, whether it's a demographic fit, whether it's a marketing fit, whether it's a price fit, whether it's a cultural fit. Let me try and give this to you as an example. Number one, let's take an example of recliners again. Okay. So let's say Sushma has a industry unit, a factory in Noida, which is preparing recliners. All right. While she is marketing herself, while she's creating awareness about her brand, she is only operational in the states of Delhi, NCR, a little bit of Uttarakhand, UP, and probably a little bit of Punjab. That's her work area. Will it make any sense for her to focus on brand awareness and marketing in Hyderabad? It won't.
No.
She'll not be able to deliver, right? At the current scenario, with the current stage that the business is in, will she be able to deliver? No. So is a person calling from Hyderabad a geographical fit for her? No.
No.
Demographic. Now for demographic, let's say a recliner, demography is very huge. Everybody loves to sit down and relax on a recliner, right?
Yeah.
Let's compare 2 industries. One is a recliner, one is a, let's say, adult diapers. Okay. The diapers that adult people wear. All right. So now adult diapers will have a very typical demographic. Not everybody wears them. Maybe 50 and above. 50, 60, 60 and above, 60 to 90. That's the kind of target audience. But recliner will have a target audience from 20 to 90. So how do you categorize between your demographic fit? Who are you marketing? Who are you approaching? Do they fit the profile? Now, one thing that you missed out on is adult diapers will also be purchased by children of people, of the parents who need adult diapers for their mothers and fathers, right? So when you extend the demography, then you don't just stick to 50, maybe bring it down to 40, maybe bring it down to 30. So when you define your ICP, ensure that the person is a geographical fit, the person is a demographic fit, the person is a marketing fit. Whether, let's say you are doing excessive marketing on social media and your target customer is not present on social media. Will that help? No. Let's say your recliners are something that are a touch and feel, a physical experience oriented stuff. So obviously that will work better as an ATL activity, above the line, that will work as much of a physical activity. Let's say you install some recliners in malls, you do a demo in some supermarkets and things like that. That will create much better awareness than just a social media marketing. But for something like an adult diaper, you cannot create a physical demo. So obviously that is something that will work on social media. So all of these things, ICP helps you to define the profile of the customer that you want to target. Price fit. Now let's say all adults above 70 years of age need an adult diaper. But a person in villages will not probably be able to afford the prices. That's not your target customer. So probably when you're targeting your brand awareness or brand marketing, it'll be useless expense on money to target it there. Cultural fit. There may be some very remote places where people will feel very awkward purchasing an adult diaper. It will not work there. Are you understanding how ICP is important? So targeting your ICP is extremely important. So ICP needs to be done at 3 levels. Number 1 is ICP of your business, right? Who is the ideal customer profile of your business? And that can evolve. It's not like once you have decided it's done. It can evolve as per your growth expansion as per your market changes. So it can evolve. That definition can evolve, right? So ideally, you should pick a check mechanism after every 6 months, whether the ICP is the same still as I decided in the beginning. So one is for business. One is for social media. One is for physical activities. Because these are the two forms of marketing that you do. One is physical activities, events, seminar, trade shows, things like that, physical appearances. And the other is you work on digital, right? So the people who can consume content of yours on digital may not be your customers. They will consume your content, but they will not be your customers. So that's why that categorization is going to be very different from a physical event where somebody has to pay $500. Digital content is available free, but 500 somebody will only pay when they're serious to listen to what you have to say. Now, when you find that person who you buy, who will buy from you, please do a background research. Spend time researching the buyer. Spend time researching the stakeholders. Spend some time to find common conversational points. Because sales is not about your product. You cannot create the world's best product. Please understand. It's a myth that I will create something which is different from the rest of the world and I will make my mark. Every single idea that has come out of your brain has already been there in the market 100 times. So please don't overestimate your creativity and imagination. So make that prospect journey easier whenever you are doing that B2B sale by understanding the customer persona and then be spontaneous in altering your personality. You cannot be one type of personality in a sales profile or when you are trying to sell. You have to be like a chameleon, changing colors as per the other person's personality or persona. All right. Now comes lead nurturing. Once a prospect, you've identified the ICP, you understand that they match your ICP, you have read about them, you have reached out to them, you have generated a lead. Now, how do you nurture that lead? 3+2 rule is there in follow-up. 3 times you call, 2 times you send a message. That's the ideal rule. 3 times you call, 2 times you send a WhatsApp message. 3+2 rule, right? If the person responds, then continue. If the person does not respond, consider it a cold lead for the moment. Pitching without pitching. Again, personalize your pitch, your PPT, and yourself also. Customize that pitching for every single customer. Like I said, I evaluate the persona of the person, whether on a call or in a physical meeting, and I immediately, like a chameleon, I change colors. I will immediately customize, modify my pitch. I will not go with the standard rehearsed pitch that I have. Customized pitching, too much rehearsed is also a turn off because they know you are pitching something that you have pitched to multiple people. There is no differentiation between what you are pitching to X customer, to Y customer, to Z customer. And talk, don't sell. So that goes a really long way when you're pitching your product. While pressures mount and you pitch for sales and you pitch for numbers to happen and targets to happen, take a step back and think, even if you have to pretend, even if inside you are dying to get that order, but on that face, on the face of it, you have to show the intent of solving somebody's need. Now, another major mistake that first-time business owners do, because they are very excited about selling their product out in the market and they're very they love their product and things like that, is that anybody that they get hold of, they make their best presentation. And this is a challenge that most of the salespeople feel, right? Most of the salespeople do this. In their overexcitement of pitching, they pitch anybody and everybody with the same energy. Till they finally land at the decision maker where they have to pitch with the energy, but they are frustrated that I have pitched so many times and now I have to give it a 5th time or a 6th time. So the energy will definitely not come. So before you even pitch, ask, is he or she the right decision maker who you are pitching, who you are presenting your best sales pitch to, right? Now let's come to negotiation, all right? Now, 5 things you keep in your mind before you even go into negotiation. 5 things. Number 1, intent. My intent is to close this deal. I am worth it. I am worth what I'm asking myself for. Okay. my profit margins and my brand equity. These two go hand in hand. My profit margins and my brand equity. Two things you have to keep in mind. Number one is your profit margins. Are your profit margins getting hit? Is my profit margin getting hit if I go down? And if my profit margin is getting hit, is the brand that I'm associating or the person that I'm associating myself with giving me enough brand equity to compensate for the monetary loss that I'm facing? Moving on, some tricks and trade, some short tips and tricks about closing negotiation faster. So Dhanya Mirchi's sale acts on typical transactional things. You're taking this from me. Okay, this is a now or never price. Throw in an additional thing. Keep one feature that you have not mentioned during your entire sales pitch, but keep one very good feature for the end about your product or your service or yourself. Keep that for the end. That when the negotiation is happening and they are haggling on the prices, throw in that best feature. That's called a sharp angle close. The second is in the beginning of negotiation, when the person's interest is generated. This happens when the person's interest has been generated pretty decently, very nicely. You know that the person is hooked to the service. You know the person likes you. You've developed a certain amount of trust and built a certain amount of association with them. But now, for him or her to take that turn and move on, come to you, you need to throw in some kind of a bone. When you throw in some kind of an additional extra love for them at the beginning, this does not happen at the end of the negotiation. This happens in the beginning stages. You throw in some kind of a premium, some kind of a masterclass, some kind of a irresistible offer. Something that will help them feel special, that will help them feel valued. Sharp distraction. Again, this is another technique. What do you do here is when the person is haggling too much on the prices, you take away one very important value component from the services that from the entire product or service that you're offering. Take one value component away. If you are, I can honor this price, but I will take this away because this is something that I cannot offer in this value. Now, immediately the person's mind, this is again psychological mind game. The person's mind shifts from the value, from the price to the feature that is being taken away. So once the negotiation is done, let's say, and it's at this finalization stage where you have to business handshake on a proposal, on a number, on a price, please avoid the I will revert back to you syndrome, because that shows indecisiveness on your part, or else it will also show that you are not the decision maker. And as long as you are not the decision maker, you will never be in the driving seat. When you are going into a final negotiation conversation, know your negotiation, know the limit up to which, know your negotiation, know your limit, know your final price, know your offense. Now, post-sale, which is again, I said, more important than the pre-sale. Watertight SLAs. And this is one major place where most of the entrepreneurs and most of the salespeople also suffer. They will incorporate their legal teams. This is not my expertise area. Obviously, this is not something that I am an expert at. So I will leave it on my lawyer. They will involve their lawyer. You will involve your lawyer. Lawyers are paid to write. If they don't write anything, they will not be able to justify the salary that they get. Lawyers are paid to write. Lawyers will only poison your deal further. They will poison your deal further. Please mark my words. If you are an entrepreneur or you are a sales personnel, read the legal document carefully. Even if it is 19 pages, read the legal document carefully. Understand what every clause talks about. So that when somebody negotiates with you, when the lawyer negotiates with you, the other client negotiates with you, or presents an alteration in those clauses, you know what they're talking about. You do not have to look at the lawyer all the time, or the legal department all the time to explain, okay, this is what is happening or that is what is happening. All right. So ensure that for your business, for your sales service, you are the lawyer. You understand the terms and terminology. And it's very easy to understand. There is no rocket science in it. It's very easy to understand. You go on Google, Google will give you an answer to everything. You just type the clause that you are not understanding and ask for its meaning. Google will share the meaning to you. But you have to go that extra mile so that your sales process is slower, faster, so that your sales time is lesser, right? Create a monthly audit mechanism, which I already said. Always, irrespective of whether you will be selling them again or not. Auditing, performance feedback, engagement is very important. It is always. Why? Because a long-term relationship is always better than a one-night stand. It'll always be better. A one-night stand will always be a one-night stand. You will always have to find another person for a one-night stand the next day. But a long-term relationship will always forever go. And it will be a long-lasting association for you. In whatever manner, whether they purchase themselves, whether they give you referrals, they give you testimonials, they will be adding to your business some way or the other. All right? Super. So with that, I think more or less we come towards the end of this session. Happy selling, easy selling. Reach out to me. Feel free to reach out to me for anything that you feel you need my support in.